Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a man so exceptional that the divine hosts of heaven and hell were forced to take note. A man dangerous enough to bring Satan to his knees, but selfless enough to make God himself raise an eyebrow. How did this come to pass? Well, it all began at a very special birthday party for a very special young lady.
Surprise!
What is all this?
It's your birthday, Kinsey.
So?
You've never been to a birthday party?
No.
Oh, like not even growing up?
I went to the School of the Americas since kindergarten. We didn't really do birthday parties.
But you celebrated Christmas?
I don't have to explain myself to you.
Oh, Kinsey, this is going to be so much fun. Zinjai made a cake, Jane Austen is here, we'll play some games.
What sort of games? So you celebrate birthdays by trafficking with spirits?
It's spooky and fun.
It's a bunch of letters.
It's tradition. Every slumber party has to involve a spirit board.
Slumber party?
How's it work?
We ask it a question, and the spirit of the board will reveal the answer.
How?
Yeah, someone pushes the pointy thing to wherever they want.
Wait. Can we go back to you and your slumber parties?
No time. All right. Everyone put their hands on the cursor.
Cursor. I feel the magic already.
All right. Will the President/God Emperor for life ever choose a partner to reign alongside them?
No.
Ooh, someone's getting married.
Shut up, Matt.
Who will tame the president's wild heart?
What are you guys trying to spell?
I'm not moving it.
That's the spirit, Kinsey.
I'm serious.
I'm not moving it either.
Neither am I.
Jezebel? Who the fuck is...
Is that not normal?
Where'd you get the board?
I was going through Zinyak's artifact collection and found it there.
Who did it belong to?
Alistair Crowley?
Christ. Guys? I think it's laughing at us.
Fuck this. I think you're a smart enough piece of wood to see where this is going. Now, you ready to cooperate? That's more like it.
You think we can trust it?
It's not like we got a lot of options.
So what's the plan? We mount up and go in after the boss?
No, I do. No sense in what's left of humanity walking right into a death trap. Someone's gotta live to tell the story.
That's a stupid plan, Johnny.
I'm leaving you in charge.
Hell of a plan, Johnny.
Are you serious?
I'm coming too.
Are you kidding me?
How do you plan to come back?
I try not to sweat the details.
You need someone with you that does.
No.
It's my birthday.
Fine. All right, then. You know where my friend is?
True to its word, the spirit board opened up another portal and sent Johnny and Kinsey screaming into hell.
Ultor's behind this, I know it.
Ultor and the Saints haven't been enemies in years. You really think he's responsible?
You don't know him like I do. The boss put him through a window for a reason.
The reason was the boss was kind of fucking crazy back then.
That's a fair point.
You know how much easier this would be if we just found a car?
You know how much easier this would be if you just gave me a second? You never should have fucked with me. Out of my car. Alright, now how are we gonna find the Eltor building?
Biggest building down here, giant altar sign on it. I don't think this is a problem.
I'll buy that.
Look at us. Kinsey Kensington and Johnny Gat driving together on a birthday adventure.
Are you always this excited?
Generally, I'm a misanthrope.
I get it. So this is hell. Not as bad as I thought.
It kind of reminds me of Steelport. So, what's the plan?
Oh yeah. I'm gonna shoot him in the face unless he gives us the boss back.
What if Dane doesn't have the boss?
I'll probably still shoot him in the face.
Welcome to hell.
Shouldn't you have a receptionist?
Such is the plight of eternal damnation. I have a feeling you didn't come here to catch up. Let's talk in my office.
Not even death could stop the enterprising Vogel, who wasted no time in setting up an Ultor branch in the bowels of hell. Dane was eager to fill Johnny in on the ever-shifting politics of land rights in the underworld. But real estate mattered little to Johnny, who only cared where his friend was.
Where'd you put the president?
I've been trying to explain that. I didn't take them.
Bullshit. You expect me to believe you just happened to be the first thing we see in hell?
Maybe it's just me, but your thank you sounds more like an accusation.
That's probably because he plans to kill you.
Okay. I get the trust issues. Can I show you something?
The pieces all came together. The president had caused more chaos and destruction than any other in human history. It was only natural that Satan would want them to marry his daughter. They needed a plan, and Johnny had one.
I'm gonna shoot the devil in the face.
I think you might be skipping some details.
No, I said in the face.
I like the commitment, but you gotta find a way to get close enough to him in the first place.
When's the wedding? I'll just show up
And then you'll shoot him in the face. Sorry, but it's a little more complicated than that. These things are tied to the soul. You won't be able to enter without one.
So how do we get one?
You get his attention. I know some places that are of particular value to the father of the bride. You hit those, you'll get your shot.
Wait, why would Satan give out an invitation for destroying his stuff?
Oh, he won't, but it should piss him off enough to get him to attack Johnny personally. Either the devil kills Gat and Ultor gets the construction contracts to rebuild what was destroyed, or Johnny kills Satan and I'll have to pay less taxes. It's pretty win-win.
That's why you're helping us? To make more money in hell?
Hell's what you make of it, sweetie.
Works for me. What you got?
All right.
Satan had entrusted the day-to-day running of hell to 5 archdukes, and Dane knew how to find them all. But beyond that, not everyone in hell was content to go along with Satan's status quo. There were others who shared Dane's ambition for power, and the Ultor mogul knew that the key to unseating Satan lay in gaining their aid. But before Johnny set out to wage war against the Prince of Darkness, Dane had one final gift, an artifact that he had spent fortunes on. Lucifer's cracked halo. This holy relic granted Johnny the majestic wings of the Morning Star. However, he still needed help in learning how to use them.
All right, you got me out in the sticks. Now what?
Would it kill you to show a little excitement? You're about to experience angelic flight, for Christ's sake.
Dane.
Someone needs a nap. Just collect some soul clusters and power up the halo. You'll be flying around in no time. Great. Now you should have just enough clusters to power up your halo. Everyone's chasing the Stygian dream down here. A way to make hell just a little more tolerable. And when you're surrounded with that amount of desperation, believe me, it's easy to find people who lay it all on the line for next to nothing. Some folks think I had all this handed to me and I take advantage of people, but here's the God's honest truth. In life and in death, I worked for everything that I had. Opportunities mean fuck all if you do nothing with them. Most of these poor bastards down here whine about their lot in life, but are unwilling to do anything about it. That's not me. Know your limits. It was the best piece of advice my father gave me, and I ignored it because I was a fucking idiot. I was the director of special projects for Ultor, and I pissed it all away because my ambition got the better of me. The reality is that I'm a kingmaker, not a king. I'm not going to make that same mistake twice. I'd be a liar if I didn't say I got a little pissed when the would-be president shot me in the face, but after a couple years of reflection, I realized something. They had the same look in their eyes that I have. They were driven. And when I realized that, I knew I wanted to prepare for the moment they would come down to hell, because on that day, I wanted to be standing with the Saints. I knew that when the leader of the Saints came down here, he wasn't going to be interested in hearing what I had to say unless I had a pretty fucking big peace offering. Perfect opportunity came after Blackbeard robbed Satan's palace and stole Lucifer's halo. Blackbeard knew that he had to unload it fast before Centerpole raided the Barrens, and so he was willing to put a price on an otherwise priceless artifact. It cost me a fortune, but it was worth it. Satan would never suspect that I had it, and I could bide my time until the leader of the Saints was hellbound. My plan was solid, but not even I could predict a shotgun wedding. Satan forcing Jezebel to marry the president definitely put a wrinkle in things. For one, I wasn't sure if Johnny was going to let me explain the situation before he killed me. For another, I was entrusting the most powerful artifact in the world to someone who had worse impulse control than teens on prom night. Here's the deal. If you want some FaceTime with Satan, you need to get his attention. Now, Satan hates being challenged, so anything you do to undermine his control is good. Fraud, mayhem, shooting demons in the face, anything. You can keep track of Satan's wrath with this handy meter. Get it high enough and you'll be having drinks with Big Red in no time. I've compiled a list of shit to do, so take a look and do whatever sounds fun. Oh, one more thing. We have some potential allies down here. Trust me, you want to impress them. There's lots of ways to get Satan's attention, but we should never forget the classic. Rampant fucking murder. Pride is a sin the devil's army has in spades, so if you want to pick a fight, you can bet your ass they're coming in droves. Alright, you found one of the marshalling grounds. Satan uses these things to arm and send off armies to crush his enemies. If you convert all the control stones, we should be able to use them to get around hell even faster. Predictably, there's a terrifying archdemon protecting the marshalling grounds, so it's gonna be a fight. Don't worry, though. Well, maybe you should worry. It's a scary fucking demon, but whatever. You'll figure it out. You've just entered one of 4 soul extraction facilities. This is where souls enter hell to have their sins removed and then thrown to the streets to wander for eternity. Now make no mistake, this isn't Satan being magnanimous. Sins are the currency in hell. That means these places are the cornerstone of his income. There's 3 sections of the facility, and to fully take it over, you need to capture all 3. But be careful. Satan's goons are going to be looking to reclaim any section you're not guarding. We pull this off, you'll hurt Satan and Ultor makes money. It's win-win. Alright, buddy, let's take this opportunity to stretch those wings. I've set up a rudimentary flight path through the city. All you need to do is hit the checkpoints in the order they appear. Now, because I'm a swell guy, I put some orbs out there to help you. The white ones will recharge your wings. The green ones will give you more stamina. Let's go. All right, it's salvation time. Satan's using his magic to send souls skyward and downward into oblivion. That's where you come in. catch the falling souls before they hit ground and use an arcane blast to free the souls rising upward. Of course, once you do that, you'll still have to catch them before they drift off to their death. Speed is key here. You'll get a bonus for every soul you can save before touching down. Now let's go save some clients. I mean souls. Poor souls that need help.
Johnny Gat, Soul Saver. Well, he was probably a bad guy anyway.
Okay, I have a thought on how we can get the attention of Satan, and I really think you're gonna like this one. Blow the shit out of everything, and I mean everything! Demons, cars, fences are real popular. Just tear this place apart. My lawyer, Legal Lee, figured out a way to get some gold-level clients a fast track out of hell. The more abuse you put these guys through, the more years we can shave off. Lee suggested running clients through the designated intersections to boost their punishment. Oh, and dive in front of those vehicles on fire for bonus points. I mean, let's face it, the more they hurt, the sooner we can get these wretched bastards out of here.
While his wife Laura was admitted into heaven, the Heavenly Father was less forgiving of poor Tobias, whose shirtless antics as a crazed drug dealer firmly earned him a place inside the Great Inferno. However, ever the optimist, Tobias tried to look on the bright side of being transformed into a husk. After all, while the removal of his signature dreadlocks was a disappointment, he was finally free from having to wear pants ever again. But while Perpetual Commando appealed to Tobias, he still yearned for Laura and her delightful snickerdoodles. Touched by his story and terrified by his demeanor, Legal Lee worked with renewed purpose to unite the two lovers.
Great job tearing up hell.
Thanks.
I need you to stop.
What?
Do you really think Satan could still be thinking about Jezebel's wedding after all the damage you've done? I'm telling you, the devil is about to react in a big way, and when he does, we need to be ready.
Satan didn't have much time to react to the war Gat was waging, because at home, Jezebel was waging a war of her own.
I don't love them.
You think I care?
If you started acting like a father, you would.
I'm looking after your best interest.
You don't care about my happiness. This is about you. If you just stop telling...
You will marry that saint, and I won't hear another word!
I won't do it.
You think because you're my daughter, you think that you're above it all. But schemes are currently in motion. Your choice, be a wife or be a thrall. They say the devil's in the details, and I have some more for you. Celestial light doesn't shine a ray here. Happy endings are through. You belong to me. I'm giving you away. Your blood will not save you. My hand will be cruel if you disobey. You belong to me.
Never. I'm sick of perdition, so tired of tradition, but now my time has come to go break away, to live for today, to stand out beneath the sun. I know there has to be some way for me to be free, just living a life that's far from the strife and torturous pain, someplace that's far from here and not awash with fear. Oh God, I can't wait to cast off this hate. I want to find love. There's a big wide world for stuck in this hell, a relentless tempest of rage. Surrounded by guards, betrothed by my father, trapped inside this gilded cage.
It's not working, Kinsey.
You don't know that, Johnny.
Tearing this place apart, but Satan doesn't even seem to...
We didn't come this far to fail.
You think I'm giving up?
We have one less place to go.
What if it doesn't work?
The bus is counting on us.
You think I don't know? How do I burn down a city that's baptized in fire? How do I kill off an army that's dead? Time's slipping away now, and the best plan we've got is just put one inside Satan's head. If roles were reversed, God, I know they'd save me, but all my solutions involve murder sprees.
You have to stay the course and kill without remorse.
Yeah, that sounds fun, but what has that done? We're still where we stand.
The day isn't over yet. Our sun's not begun to set. No matter how small, the wings of a fly can create hurricanes.
Johnny Gat. Hope. I feel hope. For the first time I've ever in my life. Gat is the name that cuts through my father like a knife. The seed of rebellion, it grows like a weed, and someone so violent is just what I need. There's no turning back now, the die has been cast. This sinner has found her saint, I'll be free at last. The people, the music, it waits up above. I know I'll be happy when I find love. I know I'll be happy when I find
Get off, you piece of shit. Winning isn't important. It's the body. I will fucking end you.
Lights up. William Shakespeare, humanity's greatest playwright, and hell's most diabolical purveyor of entertainment, looks on as a brave mortal on an Orphean quest enters. The bard's interest is piqued, and he looks to test his visitor's mettle. The masked tragedies were used to enemies cowering as they approached. But soon they realized that they faced a foe with courage and nobility, traits uncommon in the fires of perdition. The battle raged on below, and as bullets and blood flew, the bard arched a curious eyebrow. Could this mortal be the exact thing that Shakespeare needed?
This battle is far from over, mortal. Arise!
And now, Act 3! The conflict resolved. Shakespeare eagerly awaited meeting the champion that dispatched so many of his men. Undoubtedly, they were here for the Bard's aid. And while happy endings were not a thing found in hell, Shakespeare always had a soft spot for comedies.
In the land of the living, William Shakespeare is regarded as one of the most prolific playwrights of all time. However, to the denizens of hell, the bard is seen in a far different light. After selling his soul for fame and adoration, Shakespeare served in hell as Satan's spy master general. In doing his duty, Shakespeare would punish the souls he was investigating by forcing them to perform in grotesque passion plays for Satan's amusement. But in a Twelfth Night-esque twist, Shakespeare found himself living a double life. While he projected an image of cruelty, his heart was as soft as Jezebel's. In secret, he would tutor her on the classics and act out the works of his mortal days. When Satan found out, he cast Shakespeare out of the palace, believing that the poet would be tormented by the populace of hell, far out of Jezebel's sight. But Satan had not counted on the bard's cunning. Embracing his persona of master torturer, Shakespeare and his followers, the tragedies, took root in the entertainment district, biding their time for revenge.
And so Shakespeare called forth the Deus Ex Machina to bestow our protagonist with the arcane power of Force Stomp. Lights up. The mortal stands in the training grounds, eager to try out his new Force Stomp power on the group of demons in front of them.
To battle!
Act 1, Scene 2, in which our protagonist kills more demons. Act 2, in which our protagonist is greeted by foul imps.
Fuck off!
Act 3, in which our protagonist learns that Force Stomp even works on flying enemies, enabling them to remove a Dark Inciter's shield before shooting them to death with bullets. There is also a mistaken identity and love unrequited. The day is won, and the curtain closes on our noble hero. The Bard gives exposition, which reveals that the President has been trapped inside some sort of soul crystal inside Satan's palace. The only way for our protagonist to save them is to draw Satan out by continuing their actions in hell. Lights up! The Bard is painfully having his soul ripped free of his body. Silently, he prays for a death that will never come.
I'm gonna save you, Bill, but you gotta stop fucking monologuing.
Go! Ah!
You think I'm scared of you?
Go! For he today that sheds his blood with me shall be my brother.
Fuck yeah, Henry V.
The 5th.
You lost me.
I was never destined for obscurity, but no theater company would even entertain the idea of putting on my works, preferring to read plays written by lesser men. To them, I was a laughingstock, a fool who only wrote base comedies. I was willing to give anything to have my works be given the credit they were due. Some may question if selling my soul was worth it. Obviously, those people never met Marlowe. The passion plays I wrote for Satan were simple and formulaic. The context didn't matter so much as ensuring that the action was consistent and exciting. He didn't see those plays for the plot. He saw them for the spectacle of murder. That being said, the comedy about Iago and Aaron the Moor's roommates was a real hoot. Jezebel, my pupil, my muse, a demon with the voice of an angel. Oft would I sneak into her room to read scenes and wear funny hats. She would write these plays. These terrible, terrible plays, but the subject matter was happy and hope-filled, and that was enough for me. I was a fool to think that those times could have lasted. When I left the palace, my name carried much weight, but I knew it wouldn't be for long if I didn't keep myself relevant. I spread rumors that the reason I was cast out by Satan was that my ambition rivaled his own. Soon, demons would come to me in secret, asking what I had planned. I adopted a persona, speaking grandly in the third person to make me larger than life. In a matter of time, my cult of personality transformed into a criminal empire. The tragedies. Today, my reach is great. My minions have infiltrated almost every aspect of hell. The army, the brothels, even Dane's so-called secret Tacos Marlowe's branches. No secrets are hidden from me. Your lover, your father, your brother-in-arms. Anyone could be working for me.
Hey, looks like you kicked the dust off one of those ancient altars. Whenever you find the right power to activate one of these things, and let's be honest, you have 4 to choose from, it's not rocket science, you'll be imbued with the new arcane element for that power. Sounds too good to be true? Well, it kinda is. Once you steal the power from the altar, a bunch of guardians will appear and try to kill you. But if you use your new power to clear them out, it's yours to keep. You might want to swing by the Ultor building. There's someone here you need to meet.
On my way.
Emboldened by the power of song, Jezebel set out to find the one man that could save her from her impending nuptials. Fortunately for her, Johnny's trail of destruction wasn't too hard to follow.
One night with any lover, but you have to punch a panda. Do you do it?
Ooh, good question.
Mr. Gat?
Who are you?
Well,
We're not doing that again.
Oh, okay. I'm Jezebel.
Good to know.
What are you doing?
Threatening you. You're not marrying the president.
I don't want to marry the president.
Wow, that was easier than I thought.
My dad's making me do it. What now?
Now I'm holding you hostage.
You don't need to do this.
Yeah, that's what hostages always say.
No, like, you really don't need to do this. I'm here to help you.
Yeah, but I already have the gun drawn, so,
Are you kidding me?
maybe. Not sure yet, I'm kinda winging it.
Can you wing it without the gun?
It's a comfort thing.
Not for me.
What do you want?
For you to put the gun down.
Get used to disappointment.
You sound like my father.
What?
He's always telling me that life is about misery, not happiness. That dreams only exist to make people forget about their own mediocrity.
Man, that's depressing.
Being the devil's daughter sucks.
What do you want?
I want to punch my dad in the face.
We're gonna get along just fine.
Of course, Jezebel was speaking metaphorically, but Johnny didn't notice. Jezebel was eager to help Johnny in any way she could, and vowed to find a way to sneak him into the palace. Johnny frowned at the seemingly arbitrary amount of time required for Jezebel to find a way to sneak him in. But he accepted the fact that without traditional missions, this was the best way to further the story.
All right, Jezebel went back home. She's gonna let us know when she can sneak you in. In the meantime, let's... Wait, someone's...
Hey! Get your hands off me, you fucking troglodyte!
We have your friends, mortal. and they will writhe until their screams no longer please us.
Hang tight, Dane, I'm coming. Yeah.
Fuck! Oh! Don't mind me, just feel free to kill these bastards. Ah! I'll be right here.
Don't die on me, Dane.
Not planning on it.
I will present Satan with your broken body.
Hut, 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 hut.
My body. I will present Satan. How can it be? This is futile.
I could do this all day.
The seed of heaven is weak. This is futile. I shall wear your skin. Your blood will anoint my body.
God, that was worse than drinking well bourbon.
Way to keep things in perspective.
Thanks, man.
Abandoned ship! We've been boarded! Get these damn things off my ship!
Winning isn't important. It's the body count.
A toast to you, good sir! No. I got a bit of treasure in that chest over there. The weapon you find inside may help with our little imp problem.
Ooh.
The fuck off me. Get off, you piece of shit. You think I'm scared of you?
I summoned these imps to serve as my crew. I forgot what a handful they could be. Once aboard, they wouldn't listen to their captain. They ran amok in the bowels of the ship. I am the scourge of the seven seas. Fantastic work!
another one of these.
The gods are swarming me!
I killed a lot of people.
Get off, you piece of shit. Hey, it's okay to drop the pirate voice.
What pirate voice would that be?
Wow.
Zinyak's destruction of Earth had a profound impact on the afterlife. To heaven, it was a logistical nightmare. St. Peter's meticulous nature drove purgatory wait times to unbearable levels. Meanwhile, in hell, where souls in pain were used as currency, it created a new era of prosperity for the wickedly enterprising. This economic boon resulted in the coffers of hell to be overflowing, which in turn piqued the interest of the most notorious man that sailed the seven seas. Long had Blackbeard been a thorn in Satan's side, robbing tax collectors on a semi-regular basis. But the promise of an immeasurable fortune drove him to be even bolder. An arrangement was reached. Blackbeard would provide information on strategic targets in exchange for a share of the profit. Johnny, who was interested in murder, not money, happily agreed.
I grant ye the ability to summon my crew whenever they're needed.
Is an amazing thing. Like, I kill someone on Earth, and now I get a chance to kill him again. It's like a gift that keeps on giving.
You'll rue the day you dared to Shanghai the scourge of the seven seas.
Goddamn right they will.
Look not to heaven for
The screams of success.
When this is all over, I don't suppose you'd be interested in sharing some rum.
Fuck yeah, I am.
Jezebel has the voice of an angel. I hope you get to hear her sing. All right, matey. It's time for your lesson. Let's summon me favorite scurvy-riddled hellion, the Imp. Why don't you start off by summoning an imp to take out those enemies? There you go, matey. Now take down the other demon. Those little angel fighters are vicious. Now let's practice your aim. Take down the demons on the islands. Few things are as rewarding as pressing someone into service, am I right? Now get going! There's a whole wide world waiting to be plundered. The Barrens were the only place desolate enough to allow me to build the Queen Anne's Revenge in peace. Before I discovered the Barrens, all of my efforts would be overrun by people looking to cause me harm. But here, the energy it would require to ruin my day wasn't worth the wasteland they would have to traverse. Being a pirate with no water to sail on is like being a pirate with no water to sail on. I tried to build a craft that could weather the lava, but each time the craft and crew would erupt in flames. That's why today, the Queen Anne's Revenge sails on thermal currents and arcane magic.
Yes, the arcane magic is doing the heavy lifting, but I'd like to believe the sails are still doing something. The Barrens are as good a home as any pirate could ask for. It's remote, devoid of people, and perilous to get to. Here, I can live as a pirate king for the rest of my eternal days. Robbing galleons and avoiding the crown was a thrill, but it's nothing compared to robbing the denizens of hell. Life without adventure is no life I'm fit to live. Here, the stakes are beyond simple life and death. Hell is where I'm meant to be. I don't know who placed those glyphs that lead to treasure, nor do I care. The chase is all that matters. Some may question why I would bother revealing the location of missing treasure when I could find it myself. But the answer is simple. Competition. With no one else looking for the treasure, there is no incentive for me to find it over robbing other demons. Without another race to find the prize, those chests just sit there dormant, and treasure is meant to be found.
You can't run from your suffering. Begin
Keep it
now.
coming.
The horn on the bus goes beep, 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 beep.
Do this all day.
What, if they wanted to torture you, why'd they use the short version of the song?
This is the short version?
Oh yeah. The wipers on the bus go swish, swish, swish. The hobo on the bus goes heh, heh, heh. My mom had like 80 of them.
Whoa!
Go! Go!
The screams of success.
We must end this infernal music!
Come, let us return to my castle, so we may plot our next steps in proper surrounds.
Johnny led Vlad back to his castle, which since his incarceration became a haven for frat parties and squatters. But the systematic impaling of trespassers would have to wait. Vlad was a man of his word, and was eager to provide intel that could aid in hobbling Satan's armies.
I bestow upon you the Stygian cold fire.
Let's see what these things can do.
Gat! Release me, so I can mount these ingrates around my castle.
My pleasure. Keep it coming.
There is much work to do.
You're telling me.
I've brought you to this inferno to teach you about the power I have granted you. Cold fire is an aura, which means you must activate the power and get close to an enemy before they will feel the cold embrace of the Stygian flames. Try it against these demons.
This reminds me of that one time I killed a lot of people.
Well done, my friend. Now here comes a dark inciter. Use your aura, then get close to him to take down his shields. From there, you can finish him off with your pistol. You've done it. Doesn't it feel good to watch an enemy burn? When I arrived to Hell, my reputation preceded me, and Satan was quick to court my aid. He promised me a new body, a fiefdom, and a castle in exchange for loyalty. I happily agreed. I trained his army, maintained the peace, and ferreted out Satan's enemies. But all of my loyalty meant nothing when I committed the unforgivable sin of failure. I led Hell's army in the last war. I warned Satan that we didn't have the forces for a prolonged conflict, but Satan demanded action. Ever the soldier, I obeyed. But despite my best efforts, the angelic host decimated my forces, just as I said they would. I tried to escape that insidious prison time and time again, but it was useless. The wheels on the bus kept going round and round. Round and round. Round and round. Returning home was not the experience I had hoped it to be. It was desecrated by lost souls that thought it would be fun to throw events on my property while I was away. I hope the beer pong games were worth it to them, because when I find them, they will all beg for the mercy I will never give. The fiefdom I control has since fallen into disrepair since my incarceration, but the land and all the souls that reside there are still my responsibility. My subjects will at first be loyal out of fear, but after they obey, they will see that I can be a magnanimous ruler, and their lives will be better for my involvement.
I got word from Blackbeard that every island has a treasure chest hidden on it. What's in the chest? I don't know. I'm not a fucking pirate. What I do know is that if you want to get that thing open, you have to find 3 corresponding glyphs. Look on the bright side. Nothing's trying to kill you.
Gotta pick it up.
Gotta look for me. Fuck.
No one betrays the saints.
The Barrens is ours! Now to start pressing souls into service. Soon, the Queen Anne's revenge will be a thing to be feared again!
Blackbeard was pleased. While some would call Dominion of the Barrens a small prize, to Blackbeard it was exactly what he needed. An out-of-the-way place to hoard his treasure and live like a bandit king.
We're standing in a parking garage. I don't like it either, but Centerpool isn't giving us many options. I can't believe they tried to force us out. I can't believe you forgot the mimosas. I think we have bigger problems. I don't think you realize how much I love mimosas.
I can't help but notice that people are trying to kill...
Yeah, they're really big on that here.
What did you do?
Is now really a good time? We can wait until we're done shooting people.
Well, I'm great at multitasking.
Remember when we offered you a deal on that airplane and you responded by killing everyone?
Yeah.
It's like that, but worse.
Is that all you got? Go! Hey, Viola. Thought you should know that Kinsey misses you.
Really? That's so sweet. Who's Kinsey? You remember Kinsey. She was that hacker that Matt Miller hated. Isn't she crazy? You know, she really grows on you.
I will fucking end you.
Always for Kiki.
Hi. Let's get you two back to Dane.
Hooray.
After being reunited in hell, Kiki and Viola wasted no time in doing what they do best: facilitate the running of businesses. However, the Dwinter sisters' success did not sit well with other would-be power players in hell. The sisters' operations all came under attack at once, forcing them on the run. Soon, the twins found themselves on the receiving end of an offer they couldn't refuse. After all, it was better to own 1/5 of something than to be dead.
You helped us, now let us help you. Here's a little something made popular by another group of sisters, the Gorgons. All right, Dane's letting us use his Ultor training room to test out your Stone Blast power. So go ahead and blast these demons to turn them to stone. After they're petrified, you can use your pistol to shatter them.
One more for the collection.
Legendary.
Nice! Stone Blast is especially useful on flying demons like this one. All right, now let's see you drop a few more. A blast will also take down the shield of a Dark Insider, leaving it vulnerable to gunfire. Take this Dark Insider out. I think you've got the gist of it. All right, let's go. If you hurt my sister, so help me!
I'm coming, Kiki.
You can't make me beg. Ah!
That lady's tougher than she looks. This is good for the soul.
Who is my foe?
Kill all those motherfuckers.
Don't worry.
Thanks. Listen, about the Syndicate trying to kill you.
Don't worry about it. Besides, I'm still alive. You died on Earth. I figure that's a wash.
Makes sense. Downtown looked like a shithole when I first got here. In all fairness, you were in hell. True, but where others saw status quo, I saw opportunity. I knew that if I wanted to revitalize downtown, I would need clout and capital. I just needed to find the right business venture to get started. I looked at the market and saw that Centerpol was the only game in town for defense and law enforcement, and knew I could create a powerful alternative. Soon, Cerberus Security was founded. Viola and I always did everything together. Played together, went to college together, traveled together, formed a criminal empire together. I always thought that we would die together. Sorry, V. Beat you to the punch on that one. After you died, all I had was revenge. I never thought that I'd feel whole again. Yeah. I love you, sis. Me, you too. By the time I showed up in hell, Cerberus and Centerpol were already locked in a bitter fight for dominance of the marketplace. We never would have pulled ahead if it weren't for you. You would have pulled it off. I'm not so sure. The strategy you put together was brilliant on both the martial and marketing side. I'm good at getting things started, but you were the one who always put the exclamation point on a plan. With us reunited, it was only a matter of time before we were on top of the world. Revitalizing downtown wasn't about profit. It kinda was about profit. A little bit. Like 50%. The point is that it was also about making an impact. An eternity is a long time, and we both wanted to carve out something beautiful in this terrible place. Like Dane says, hell's what you make it. Things are going perfectly. Downtown was rebuilt in our image, the money was rolling in, we had an amazing penthouse. But then something happened. Centerpol, who was long since relegated to obscurity, came back with a vengeance. They had new gear, new weapons, and new purpose. Destroy Cerberus. Someone is funding them, and we are going to find out who.
Jezebel's plan worked flawlessly, and when the time was right, she made her way to the bowels of the palace. But while she successfully managed to breach the castle walls to let Johnny in, she did not go unnoticed.
Put that toy down, Mr. Gat.
And why would I do that?
Oh, because if you don't, I'll break Jezebel's beautiful neck.
She's your daughter.
I'll say something kind at her funeral. Drop it. I knew it. It's you. It's always been you.
Yo, what you talking about?
You love her.
I really don't.
You love her! Ah, Johnny, my boy! I misjudged you. You've shown loyalty by walking into hell. You've shown cunning by robbing me. You've shown brutality by killing my generals. And now you're willing to sacrifice yourself for my daughter. You're the man who should be my son. Defiant to the end. Now listen, boy. You've proven your spirit, but don't presume to push me further.
Let him go.
Not now, Jezzy. The men are talking.
Dad, let him go.
Look how you inspire her. She wants to kill me. You bring out the best in her. I'll offer you a deal, Mr. Gat. Marry my daughter, and I'll allow your companion to leave with the President's soul. It's your choice. You know where to find me.
The President's soul was within Johnny's grasp. All he had to do was marry Satan's daughter.
Welcome to Tacos Malos. Can I take your order?
Dane? Is that you?
Yes. Now keep your voice down before someone hears you.
What the fuck are you doing in there?
You think anyone buys fast food in hell? It's a front. I've been stashing resources at the branches all over hell. Swing by all three and you'll have enough components to build a weapon.
Can I still get a taco?
You don't want the fucking taco? Now get out of here.
Maybe one day I'll retire and have a view like this. Well, preferably not in hell, but hey, let's be realistic. Bad place to take in the view. A gravel pit? A fucking gravel pit? We're surrounded by floating buildings and rivers of lava. Why in God's name is there a fucking quarry here? A silver bullet. That's the only strip club worth going to.
With the entertainment district secure, Shakespeare's heart filled with joy, and his mind raced with ideas of the stories he could now tell. Perhaps, finally, Trinket the Bear will receive the requiem the loyal animal truly deserved.
With the entertainment district completely under his control, Shakespeare again found himself in the limelight. The denizens of hell reacted in a similar fashion to mortal students throughout America. First they feared him, then they hated him, finally they loved him.
Why would they call it a snowball's chance? There's no snow in hell. You know, someone should fire their marketing guy. Life is good. Hot coals! Hot coals! Hot coals! Whoa! Very hot! Very hot! 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 Fuck you, lava! Fuck you! Hot! 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 Yeah, I don't think I want to know what's happening behind that door.
Hey, baby. You looking for a bad time?
Yeah, no. Everyone has a hobby. Stay classy, hell. Satan wanted to impress me, he'd have an actual fucking dragon, not just some bullshit statue.
Hell of a drop. Would love to take Dex up here. Far be it from me to tell the devil how to do his job, but if I was running things, this thing would have guns. Lots and lots of guns. I could put together a hell of a curriculum down here. Knife work 101, improvised assault, murdering people on one good leg. You know, maybe teaching is my true calling. It looks like someone got to this building before I did. Yet another place I'd love to throw someone off of. No one betrayed me. God, I want to throw someone into that lava.
Welcome to Tacos Malos. Would you like our special today?
Is that the gun?
Jesus Christ, you are terrible at being discreet.
Now what made you think I'd be good at it?
That's a good point. Enjoy the weapon.
I don't want to know what they do to the people locked up in there.
Dante said that the deepest circle of hell is reserved for betrayers, and as such it should come as no surprise that Troy Bradshaw found himself in the depths of hell. However, in the case of Mr. Bradshaw, Legal Lee was confident that he could find a way to game the system. After all, Troy betrayed the Saints because of his obligations to the Stillwater PD. And later, Troy turned his back on his fellow policemen because of a sense of obligation he had to the Saints. He was a man conflicted, and while the road to hell is paved with good intentions, ultimately, even in perdition, it would be cruel to punish a man for eternity for doing what they sincerely believed to be the right thing.
I know this is petty, but Vlad won't stop bitching about some frat boys that tossed his castle when he was locked up. Personally, I got nothing against poli-sci majors with popped collars, but as a general rule, I like to keep people with nicknames like the Impaler happy. It'll really keep things going smoothly with Vlad if you could show up to one of the frat's pledge games and smack him around a bit. Who knows? Maybe you'll make some friends. Isn't that what college is really about?
Luz was a woman with impeccable taste in shoes, but horrible judge when it came to men. Once the girlfriend of Stillwater drug kingpin Angelo Lopez, Luz found herself bouncing from one Colombian drug czar to the next. She knew what she was doing was wrong, but let's be honest, who can really afford red sole stilettos without a little drug money? But here in the fiery pit, with her possessions stripped bare, she had time to reflect on her past choices and realize her mistakes. Legal Lee saw a penitent woman and was compelled to help her. Of course, she could have been totally unrepentant and Legal Lee would still have taken her as a client, but at least a lesson was learned.
Johnny Gat. For decades, the denizens of hell have cursed you for being the man responsible for sending them to their eternal torment. With every tale of your brutality, my interest was piqued. My name is Gallows Dodger, and it is an honor to be a gun wielded by an artist such as yourself. I must say,
The murder of Shogo Akuji was particularly inspired.
We're gonna get along just fine.
Exquisite.
Great job taking back downtown. Viola's paranoid about another coup coming, but I'm planning on having some champagne with Dane.
Downtown was secured, but the Dwinters knew it was only a matter of time before another storm arose. They had no idea how right they were.
The slums are again mine to command. In time, all of hell will know that I am not a man to be trifled with. But more importantly, I will not forget the part you played in this. I will scour hell for your enemies, and they will writhe.
Vlad was Dane's favorite type of business partner, a perfect mix of ruthlessness and integrity. In exchange for his help against Satan, Dane vowed to keep Ultor interests out of the shantytown, save for the occasional ad buys, naturally. Despite what he told Johnny upon their first meeting in Hell, Dane had other motivations for standing against the Prince of Darkness. Upon first arriving in Hell, Dane approached Satan with an open hand. However, no matter how much Dane tried to build a working relationship, the devil only begrudgingly extended the lightest of professional courtesy. Dane had no issue working with people, but being treated as a pawn, not as a partner, was beneath him. He was insulted. And for that, Dane would see Satan brought low, and he knew exactly how to do it.
A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 14. The Ultor Corporation. Dane Vogel is an example for what the best of you can become. A businessman who serves as my thrall. This megacorporation exists at my leisure, and assuming it continues to serve my interests, I will allow it to persist. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 27. Judgment. The destruction of Earth has created a massive influx of souls. However, whereas Hell had infrastructure in place to process the souls quickly, Heaven languished under St. Peter's watchful eye. Even now, St. Peter is only finally processing the last batch of humanity. When the war comes, we will be ready, and God will scramble to keep up. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 25. The Forge. For the time being, mineral rights in Hell have been granted to the Ultor Corporation, and the Forge is where they mine and process the materials that are used to build the very foundations of Hell. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 40. Shadow Demons. Relentless assassins. The Shadow Demons teleport from rooftop to rooftop, ensuring that there is no place to run to in Hell. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 11. Eternal Suffering. Often the first instinct a newly damned soul has is to kill himself, hoping that it all gets sorted out the second time around. Well, that's a mistake. The soul explodes into 1,000 pieces and slowly and painfully reforms over the next 100 years. So the next time you see one of those spineless souls running for cover, you'll have a better idea as to why. Why didn't I lead with that tidbit? To punish those who think they can survive without heeding all my words. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 26. Old Hades. When Father cast me out of heaven, he intended Hades to be a pleasant time-out space. But my fall shattered his gilded cage, and my anger twisted Hell into the world that now spreads before you. The Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 10. The Pit of the First. The center of New Hades is where I made my descent from heaven. As I crashed into Hades, I fractured the land into the 5 islands that now spread before you. As you pass the Pit of the First, it is customary, though not required, to bow your head in reverence. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 29, The Marshalling Grounds. A marvel of occult engineering, the marshalling grounds allow my armies to travel effortlessly across hell. Developing the teleportation magic was not without its incidents, however. Few can forget the screams of Trinket the Bear when he was marched forward to be the first test subject. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 19, Downtown. The Dwinter sisters have revitalized downtown to make it the destination for high-end debauchery. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 35, The Grunts. Proof that upward mobility exists. The souls selected to be grunts of my army enjoy delights husks could only dream of. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 12, The Barrens. Once a lovely location for bacchanals and ritualistic murders, the heavenly host laid waste to the Barrens in the last war between heaven and hell. I have forbidden rebuilding the Barrens, so it serves as a reminder for what we lost. Only after I lay siege to heaven will I allow it to return to its former glory. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 17, The Battlegrounds. This graveyard is where dead of the previous war on heaven were buried. Here it is rumored that demons and angels alike haunt this place to this very day. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 20, The Flotsam of Hell. Newer souls often marvel at the floating islands that surround Hades. The reality is that those islands are not rock at all, but fossilized remains of the beasts of Babylon, winged creatures that once served me, but in their hubris dared to believe they could overthrow me. As punishment for their mutiny, I encased them in stone where they flew. To this day, their blood still rains down, burning the pitiful souls that walk below. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 21, Transportation. The price of vehicles in hell often bar all but the most enterprising souls to acquire one. Yes, they are often stolen. Yes, they have a tendency to spontaneously combust, but the thrill of driving with the windows rolled down even for a day can be worth the decades it takes to afford a new one. Oh, and we also don't offer insurance. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 16, Shantytown. Unless you are particularly enterprising or have powerful friends, you will ultimately find yourself in Shantytown. It's crowded, oppressive, and your neighbors will likely try to murder you to steal whatever paltry wealth you've amassed. Enjoy your eternity. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 4, Keeping Your City Clean. As is imaginable after an influx of souls from an exploding Earth, some souls slip through the cracks. These unrefined souls litter our fair city and could be a quick source of upward mobility to an individual who finds as many as they can. While the promise of economic mobility seems promising and not hell-like, naturally such prizes are highly contested and are the source of many conflicts. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 3, Economics. The currency of hell is comprised of forged sins. Every piece of pocket change is actually thoughts of adultery, murder, and gluttony. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 39, Legionnaires. Second only to the Archdukes, the Legionnaires purposefully wear less armor so that they may embrace every aspect of pain on the battlefield. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 30, The Halo. Forged by God himself, my halo was a repository of great power. I spent millennia harnessing its might, and even then, I barely scratched the surface of what it was capable of. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 1, The Damned. Welcome to hell, O ye of questionable morality. Who you were on Earth no longer matters. When you arrive here, everyone from the mightiest crime lord to the elderly gentleman who takes pens from banks begin the same way, as wretched ghouls wandering the streets. As a shadow of a man, you are stripped of your sins and condemned to a meaningless existence. Eternal playthings for a demonic host who is all too eager to ply its trade. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 33, The Deadly Sins. No longer just delightful pastimes. Pride, wrath, envy, lust, gluttony, greed, and sloth have become personified in the form of weapons. Only the most deserving wretched soul will be blessed with one of these treasured artifacts. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 13. The Den of Eternal Suffering. Don't let the official name scare you. This wonderful location serves as our entertainment district. Take in one of Shakespeare's passion plays, enjoy a septuple way, or maybe just settle down for a sinfully perfect hot cocoa. Here you can find it all. Yes, these delights are oppressively expensive, but is it really that different from San Francisco? A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 37. Plague Bearers. The men are just grunts with bigger weapons and a fancier title, but hey, it keeps the people happy. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 38. Imps. Little bundles of pure sin. These adorable mischief makers serve as perfect pets or slave labor. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 24. The Black Cathedral. When I was first cast into perdition, my father built this chapel as an opportunity for me to repent. I leave it standing to remind him that I defy him not out of anger, but out of will. I will never bow to God again. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 34. The River Styx. The River Styx surrounds New Hades, providing warmth and light. I recommend every soul to go for a swim in the river at least once. It's quite the experience. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 6. Soul Drains. Runaway sins are attracted to these drains so that every unclaimed penny can fill my coffers. I also enjoy dancing shows and found the name ironic. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 23. Centerpole. This privatized militia is one of the two primary peacekeeper groups in hell. Obey them, and they may only beat you within an inch of your life. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 28. First Aid. Periodically, you may get injured and seek first aid. You may find this to be problematic, as ambulances in hell get paid a premium to run over people instead of helping them. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 22. The Spires. Our aerial defenses are a precious commodity and are only to be deployed upon angelic threat. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 5. On Hoarding Sins. Some of the more frugal of the damned take all their worldly possessions with them when they travel, fearful of leaving things behind where they can be taken. Naturally, I've made it incredibly easy for you to spot those individuals, so you may mug them and capture the sins for yourself. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 18. Dimensional Communications. There are many ways to sow horror on the mortal plane. While haunted VHS tapes have fallen out of vogue, there are still a multitude of ways for our demons to communicate with and torment your loved ones. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 7. The Day to Day. Every day will be terrible. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 32. Interlude. I hope you enjoyed Chapter 31's step-by-step instructions on how to sneak your way into heaven. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 15. The Powerful. You'll notice a few souls that don't look like the others. These damned citizens have paid enough wages of sin as tithes to transform their appearance into one reminiscent of their former life. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 9. The Coming War. The time is coming when the heavenly host and the demonic horde will have their final battle. And while I will personally deal with my father, hell needs a general that will lead us to victory. Vlad was found wanting. I have my sights on another. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 8. The Archdukes. Every marshalling ground is overseen by one of my Archdukes, the fiercest men and women of my army. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 36. The Dark Inciters. These elder demons direct the lesser denizens of hell, summoning them to die on their behalf. It is never wise to incur their wrath. A Damned Soul's Orientation Guide, Chapter 2. Promotion. You can never dash dreams without hope to build them in the first place, which is why I offer you a way out of the simple life of a husk. When a soul is deemed worthy, he is given a demon body, a gun, and an incredible sense of pride. Naturally, after years of torment from the demonic horde, they are all eager to be on the other end of punishment. They become the personification of cruelty and ruthlessness, as I intended.
The time had come for the black wedding that would unite Johnny and Jezebel as Hell's new power couple. The tabloids were already calling them Johnny Bell, but Johnny had something different in mind.
Hey, Satan. You want to get out of here?
I can't believe that worked.
Occam's razor. So...
Playtime is over, Mr. Gat. Save them if you can.
I love weddings.
The gazelle hunts the lion. I think not.
Keep talking, bitch.
I am immortal. You will not touch me. Come, find me, mortal.
Get it off! Get it off! One more for the collection.
Away with you! Lost the will to fight! You will not touch me!
Shoulda run.
Your body will rot the streets. This one. Away with you! enough!
And like that, the battle had ended. Satan could no longer suffer the indignity of being beaten by a mortal and disobeyed by his daughter, and so he banished them from perdition. But still, all was not well.
That was a direct order from your captain!
You're worse than Pierce!
Trivia night is sacred! You don't get to quit just because you know fuck all about pop culture.
Who knows the name of the Nightblade episode where they introduced Nightbladette?
It was called The Meaning of Reconciliation and it was directed by Kim Stein.
I can't believe Asha sleeps with you.
I can't believe you don't.
Boss, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What is this place?
Whoa, 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 who the fuck is that?
Her name's Jezebel. She's the devil's daughter.
Pierce is gonna have a heart attack.
Nah, she likes to sing. Pierce will dig her.
I don't think...
Can you rock the narrator from Joseph?
Yeah?
She'll be fine.
Guys, where's Johnny?
Our hero had not yet returned to the mortal coil, for he was waylaid by none other than God himself.
I have a situation.
Look, man, I just really want to go home.
I owe you.
Huh?
Zinyak hastened the apocalypse. St. Peter's a good guy, bless his heart, but he was processing souls way too slowly. With the destruction of Earth, Satan had the numbers to storm heaven. All he needed was the President of the United States to lead them.
What, you think I couldn't do it?
No, I think you wouldn't do it. Aisha's up here.
I want to see her.
Slow down, buddy. I said that I owe you, and I'll make good on that. But I want you to know your options.
And now you, dear reader, shape the tale. If you want to see Johnny reunited with the love of his life, turn to page 31. If you want to see the devil defeated and Johnny crowned the new king of hell, turn to page 13. If you want the saints to find a new home world for what's left of humanity, turn to page 62. If you want God to recreate the Earth, but in doing so retcon the entire world of Saints Row, turn to page 124. And finally, if you want God to bestow Johnny with the answers to all the questions of the universe, turn to page 248. There were so many questions that Johnny needed answers to. Why did good people suffer? Was there a way to bring peace to all mankind? What was the secret to making a perfect lobster bisque?
Oh.
The end. Johnny knew that he couldn't choose his own happiness at the expense of humanity, and so he asked God to reshape the world, hoping that maybe, just maybe, in this new life, he could find his friends again.
It's really her.
I can't believe we've bagged Brimstone.
It doesn't make sense. She's evaded capture for years. Why would she drop the ball now?
I don't know. When the lieutenant gets to interrogation, Brimstone's gonna talk.
The end. As much as he loved Aisha, Johnny couldn't abandon his friends and the rest of humanity.
There it is.
The planet itself looks perfect. Oxygen base, lush forests, clean water, fertile soil.
What's the catch?
It appears to be inhabited by a psychotic warlike race. This is going to be our toughest fight yet.
Thank you, God.
The end. In Hell's weakened state, the heavenly host made short work of Satan and those who were loyal to him. Soon, Johnny was the new ruler of Hell.
Kinda pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, it kinda is.
Do you miss your friends?
Nah, I know they'll be down here in no time.
The end. Johnny realized that this was his one chance to make it into heaven. He had to take it.
Hey,
The end. The alliance that Johnny brought together had far-reaching effects on the Queen Anne's revenge, searching for any others who would threaten the Alliance's control and pressing them into service.